Louisville underway right now. It's streaming on the ESPN.
Blocking machine. They have 90 blocks. He's got, what, 55 of them?
Dave, he just did that kind of as a second. Like, the guy's here. I'm going to block it, tip it, get it to myself. Just
block it to myself. What the heck?
Yeah.
Beekman, fine freshman out of Baton Rouge. And feeding the 7-footer who can hit it from outside. And, of course, that's a forte to Tony Bennett's team, that three-point shot, as that one is tipped out. And going to stay on this end. Tony Bennett in his 12th year at the helm for Virginia. He's had a lot of success, obviously, in the conference. He's had a lot of success against Louisville. He's 12-2 all-time against the Cardinals.
Well, he is the kind of man that makes you feel bad about yourself. He's such a good guy. You know what I mean? Like,
he's
you talk to him, he's the greatest
and he's George Clooney too. That's the other problem.
Yes.
He looks like $1 million, and that's a real problem for all of us.
Yes.
Hauser putting that one to the deck. Here's Murphy. He's 46% beyond that three-point line, and he'll keep it on this end.
See, that's what you're going to get every time Murphy gets the basketball against Williamson. He is going to drive it. And against Lazinski, he tried to drive it. Lazinski bottomed him up, or bodied him up, couldn't get anything.
Hauser with a tough shot, but he makes a lot of shots like that, doesn't he?
He does, Dave, and that's inexcusable if you're Louisville, because what's the last thing you go over as a staff before a game? Baseline out of bounds, particularly Hauser.
Yeah, find number 10, and on the other end, it's Williamson, their number 10. With a sweet move. He's another guy playing particularly well for the Cardinals. You look at his last 4 games, 14 points, 12 rebounds on average.
Yeah. Dave, and that's what I said. He has length. He can shoot it. He's athletic. And he has to be the guy, I think, or one of the guys that comes through big time today. But he's also got to defend different positions.
Mark feeding the big man, but stripped away and on the line. And so David Johnson with a turnover, but a hustle play. 2-point game early.
That's the easiest steal. They should not be able, they being Virginia, should not be able to throw the ball into Jay Huff from the side. The defender, you see the bottom defender right there? That's Johnson. You should be there early and then get back to the shooter. But he cannot get fed, Huff. He cannot get fed from the side without somebody there to make a steal.
Shot clock down to 1, and Clark had to heave it up there. Didn't touch anything, so a shot clock violation. And Louisville with some tough D under Chris Mack in his 3rd year. His team just went like 19 days between games, and I know that's maybe not routine, but a lot of teams are dealing with that. But it was forever, like 22 days before they could get back on their home floor. That has to feel like 3 months.
Yeah, it's just, look, I've talked to him about it, and he's never complained. He said, look, this is our lot. Everybody's got their own lot. This is theirs, and they've had to deal with it. And frankly, coming out of different pauses, they've really struggled, obviously, with monster losses. But this is a very good Louisville team that's going to be very dangerous in both the ACC and NCAA tournaments.
Because they got from a long pause and then got thumped by Carolina, but they've been playing much better since then. Cross court, Beekman. Shot clock inside 10. Good defense here by the Cardinals. Beekman on the drive. Shot clock a factor again. Little floater won't drop.
Switching everything, scrambling, making Virginia uncomfortable. Watch it next time. Try to watch off the ball, all the switching by Louisville off the basketball.
Jones, the graduate from Radford, where he was the Big South Player of the Year last season, has a chance to be ACC Player of the Year this season. And a whistle with 15:45 to go here in the first half. Virginia with a 6-4 lead on Louisville at the KFC Yum Center. Buster at Chapel Hill. The rivals meeting a month ago in Durham. Tar Heels winning a thriller 91-87. Dave O'Brien, Dan Dockish. Dan, do you think that Duke still has a shot to sneak into the tournament?
I do. It would certainly help them to win this ball game. You know what's fascinating is what is the committee going to look at? They're going to look at the body of work. They're going to look at without Jalen Johnson. What are they going to look at? You know, and if you just win, other teams in that bubble are going to lose. Everybody's not winning that's on that 16-team bubble.
David Johnson lost it and scooped up by Kihei Clark. So Virginia up by 2, looking for their 17th win of the season. They appeared to right their ship after a 3-game losing skid with a victory over Miami their last time out. Hauser with a touch into Huff for 2.
Well, that was too easy, Dave. That was absolutely, Withers just kind of laid on Huff, and Huff moved him up way too long. Withers or whomever is going to defend has to be uber physical with him. That's where they missed Malik Williams, right there, that play. Veteran guy, strength.
They re-injured that foot, which they had hoped had recovered after he missed the first 15. Bank shot won't go. Ball loose, and again the Cavaliers come away with that, and Malik Williams was honored as part of the Senior Day festivities today. And kind of a sad moment because Chris Mack was saying, hey, the kid can't catch a break, really since he came into college basketball.
Yeah, it's terrible. Well, he came out of Fort Wayne, Indiana as a really highly rated recruit. Wasn't never going to be a one and done or anything like that, Dave, but he just worked, man. He worked and he figured out where he could fit in terms of on the court, that kid right there, on the court, leadership, a captain. Numbers aren't the greatest, but who cares? That dude has impact in this program.
Foot surgery, broken bone in that foot. Thought they had him back for a few games, but the last game against Duke, he stepped out and never returned, and his season is over. Ray Davis in the game out of Indianapolis. On the baseline, a little pop by Williamson and a nice touch.
Yeah, we said it early. That kid has to have a big game. He's got every ability that you want. You see the improvement on the lower right-hand side. He can score, he can rebound, he's athletic, he can defend multi-positions. This is a big game for number 10 in red.
Up with a catch in traffic and stuffs it down. With some authority.
A couple of years ago, doing a game with Benetti, he asked me, who does Huff remind you of? And out of my mouth came Anthony Davis.
Davis. You hung him with an Anthony Davis.
I did. 2 plays later, he dunked with his ear on a tip dunk, and I told everybody to shut up. I was right. I don't know.
Brought up by Withers. Can't stick it. At least you're
pretty good, though, isn't he?
Unreasonably high. He is. He said he's had an outstanding season. He really has. 13 and 7 on average. He's had 3 games where he's blocked 5 shots. Virginia by 4. Clark, and he'll swing it. Hauser loves that spot, but he can't drain it. Dan Dockich and Dave O'Brien from home. A lot at stake today. Heck, this is a championship. Dan, if they win this thing, if they lose, FSU, they were upset earlier today, South Bend, Indiana, they will be the #1 seed in the ACC tournament next week.
Dave, crazy things last day of conference. And Notre Dame really up 10 all game, up to as many as 20. And now, you said it, biggest game of the year. Championship game right here. Virginia wins, they're the 1 seed, and Virginia is out to a great start, particularly defensively.
And forcing a timeout here for Louisville. 14-6 Virginia. Sam Hauser, one of the Player of the Year candidates, starting to get going. Well, we welcome you here to the ACC and 5-Hour Energy, the official sponsor of Getting It Done, and by Discover Something Brighter.
Be able to accomplish and do and be effective, how I did in, the Big South, and to be able to come over here to Louisville and kind of still be that effective and productive, and possibly winning another Player of the Year award would be huge. It'll be a big accomplishment for myself, and I hopefully I can get it. I can win it.
Louisville's Carleigh Jones. And Dan, I know you love the answer. The grad transfer, won the award in the Big South. He's up for it. He's one of these candidates in the ACC.
Yeah, I think all 5 of these guys. I love Alvarado. You voted for Alvarado, right? I don't know if we're supposed to say that publicly. I don't know. So maybe
it's out there now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
Hurt has been terrific. Walker, pick a guy on Florida State, right? You just happen to pick Walker, but Hauser, terrific. But Carlik Jones, I love that answer. Dave, let's be honest, man. Basketball. Everybody praises Michael Jordan for wanting to beat this and do that and break this record. Well, same with every kid. Every kid figures out some goal and goes after it, and Jones did. I think it's awesome. Good for him and good for his answer.
Yeah, and I like what you said when you're listening to it. It's not a selfish answer.
No.
The shots keep on coming here for Virginia. They have really heated up. Hauser has caught fire. Not the first time that's happened this season, and they lead at 16-8. But hey, that's what you want to do when you come to college. You want to be the star. You want to score points. You want your team to win.
There's no doubt about it. And again, I just like the fact that he didn't give us the canned answer. And he said, look, this is one of my goals when I came here. Good for him. Hope he gets it.
Hauser with the rebound. He's averaging 16 and 7 and had 18 on senior day for Virginia as they beat Miami on Monday. He's a transfer as well from Marquette and an ACC Player of the Year candidate for sure. Cavaliers coming in, ranked number 21. They can't stop that man right now. Hauser is cooking.
He's cooking from the mid-range, and that's a post-up. He posts, even though he goes out a little farther, a little Bonzi Wells move. You don't see that very often.
Trainer with the stuff, the 6'8" freshman, but they beat them quickly on the other end of the floor.
Every game's organic. Bill Belichick famously said that. So in this game, if you're Louisville, that play might tell you, hey, we got to get the ball down the floor fast, and everybody look to attack. Holding it, reversing it, not necessarily great in this game. Attacking your man might be the way to go offensively for Louisville.
Virginia with 4 straight makes. Here's Trey Murphy at 6'9" out of Durham, North Carolina, muscling his way in, but a misfire. Louisville also with an awful lot to play for. Victory, and they could finish as a 3 seed in the ACC tournament. That means a double bye, and they go straight to the quarterfinals on March 11. So plenty on the line for the Cardinals as well here this afternoon. Up top for Johnson. A little fall away, high off the window, but no.
When's the last time you saw a post double come for the point guard? Carlik Jones was in the post. They brought a post double on him. You just don't see that.
Old 10 side getting a lot of minutes lately from Tony Bennett. Clark with the drive, tried to reverse.
See, I think they should push. I think they should attack, reverse it. There you go, attack.
Jones tried it once again, but he does pick up the foul. He gets hit. 6-foot grad, top 10 in the ACC in scoring and in assists.
Dave, you've done 3 games. You've done 3 games at Louisville, 3 games at Virginia. You know these teams better than anybody. It feels like to me playing against a set Virginia defense historically has been bad business, and this year is bad business. It also feels like they don't guard the drive as well maybe as in the past. So take it at them more often. Does that fit with what you see?
It does, and I hear that a lot around the conference that, last year was last year. They shut people down 57 points a game. It's only a few more points per game this year, but it's quite different. Being able to get inside like that, that's poked out of bounds. With 8:12 to go, 8 on the shot clock. Virginia a little better offensively, clearly, than they have been the last couple of years, or at least last year.
Yeah, and even there, Jones goes to the rim, and the help had to come. It wasn't like a guy stopped Jones, and that's big for the offensive backboard. That's big for the second or third hockey type assists. Take it at.
Jones with a bounce for Davis. Yes, all net.
Well, Dre Davis is from Lawrence Central High School, actually literally about 3 blocks from where I'm at right now. Who's the most famous alum from Virginia from Lawrence Central High School? You have any idea?
I do not, as Walden Tensize scores 2. What do you have?
Kyle Guy played at Lawrence Central High School, made the biggest 3 free throws arguably in NCAA tournament history.
Yes.
In this national semifinal.
As you talk about the Final Four, you talk about national champions. Remember that until a new one is crowned, Virginia is the reigning national champ from 2019. After that thrilling run, given no tournament last year, Beekman will pick off the rebound. Last time these two teams met, in fact, was 1 year ago. 57-54. Virginia won it. That was the last game either would play, as the ACC and NCAA tournaments were canceled because of the pandemic. Beekman looking to operate, slammed on the brakes. Hauser again, and a rare miss for him here in the first half, and he can't handle it. Out it goes off McCoy. So it's Virginia on top by 7. It's ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball, presented by 5 Hour Energy, the official sponsor of Getting Stuff Done. Well, Jay Huff with 6. He's a central focus. No question about that, Dan.
Well, a year ago, I compared him to Anthony Davis, but he's not. But watch how Dre Davis plays. Watch this. You keep on him. You get right in his thighs. You use your hip and your rear end. You stay, and you don't even worry about the rebound. You just try to get him off balance and push him under the basket. This possession, it was Dre Davis. It's been Williamson in the past. One time it was Carlik Jones because Louisville is switching. You have to take away Jay Huff on the block if you're going to get anything done, because he's the comfort guy when things don't go well for Virginia's offense.
Jay Davis 6'5", Huff a 7-footer, 7'1". It's a really fine games. He had 21 and 12 against Syracuse, 20 and 12 against Duke, 19 points, 11 rebounds against NC State. So he gets rolling, and it can be lights out. Here's Jones trying to penetrate off the back of that iron, and a big rebound by Murphy.
And what a play by Huff. Jones turned the corner, thought he had a layup, and all of a sudden Jay Huff got to about 12 feet in the air with his right hand, and next thing you know, shot not so easy by Jones. There's a switch now. Now you'll see 13 using his rear end.
Beekman from 16 feet short. So the Cardinals trying to cut in. They too have been very, very good defensively, holding opponents to 66. That got inside to Davis, and a whistle in heavy traffic.
Number 25, Trey Murphy, that's his first.
So that'll go on Trey Murphy and be number 1 with 6 minutes to go.
Number 14, Trey Davis.
And we'll put Davis at the foul line to shoot a couple. 74% for him. Freshman's had some nice games this season.
Yeah, Dave, he's ready to go. Al Gooden, his high school coach at Lawrence Central High School, was a terrific player at Ball State. And, you know, everybody that comes out of Lawrence Central that plays for Coach Gooden and his staff, it knows how to play, period. And then you add athleticism, strength, whatever, you know, Kyle Guy's case, shoot everything in. You've got a fantastic college player. It's one of the great programs in the state of Indiana.
Well, they've allowed 2,200 fans inside KFC Youngstown. On the back door, and a slam by Murphy. And that'll keep him quiet.
Yeah, inexcusable, Dave. I mean, great cut, great back cut. But, man, Virginia's struggling to score a little bit. You got to make them shoot, not lay it in.
Challenge shot, but a good follow there by Slazinski for 2.
Yeah, Slazinski got back cut, so he said, Dave, I'm just going to go get a bucket. We're even. Let's go. Play on.
22-17.
That's a foul.
Off the ball there, stopping the clock at 5:18 to go. We mentioned 2,200 fans in the KFC Youngstown. It's the largest indoor crowd in the state of Kentucky since the pandemic began. It's nice to hear voices again. Nice to hear reaction when a guy does something, isn't it?
Yeah, there's not. You know, obviously it's not crowded, but there's not that same echo, that dull echo when no one's in the building. You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
And this is one of the great venues, one of the great programs in the history of college basketball. And it would be fun to be there.
Yeah, a game like today, you're exactly right. Really, anytime here. Shot clock down to 5. Clark spots up a long one, and it's in and out. They're going to get a second chance, though.
No, that was Huff. Nobody got it. Nobody got a hip into his thighs. You got to get a hip into Huff's thighs all the time.
Hart slamming on the brakes. Huff can certainly hit that shot, but it's too strong. He's 41% beyond the three-point line. Well, of course, Duke and Carolina coming up at 6. And a rematch. Game 1 was a dandy, 91-87. Johnson. David Johnson, the sophomore. Well, that's a sweet shot.
Boy, that sure is. He took his time. A couple different fakes at him. You can't let David Johnson in the lane. You got to make him play towards the baseline, and that includes on the dribble or in the post.
And the 2,200 making their voices heard as Louisville has fought back to make it a three-point game. Up with a spin. Yes.
Hey, Anthony Davis, that's not that far off if he gains 35 pounds. Come on. That was sweet.
You keep going back there. Doing the kid a lot of favors.
The kid is terrific every time I do a game of his.
That's right.
Post double on the point guard.
6 to shoot it. Withers off the backboard, no, and Hauser collects the rebound.
Louisville's going to lose by 20 if that's their offense. There was no movement. There was no ball reversal. There was no post up. There was a drive against a ready defender. You can't do that against Virginia or they will blow you out.
Good deny defense and the pick by Withers. Slazinski on the spin, and finally a blocking foul, a whistle there with 3:09 to go in the half.
Foul is on number 0, Keith Clark. That's his second, team 4.
Jay Huff is a stud. This is not an easy shot. Now it's a little guy, but a little guy sometimes is hard for a bigger, and Huff just keeps
ball against Virginia. Get that thing up the floor. If you want Carlik Jones to score, attack early.
Attack early. That's the message, Obi.
Yep, thank you very much. You hear how smart those guys are back there, Dan?
Oh, John Crispin even sounds his voice sounds smart. He just.
I think all three of them are.
Yeah.
These are high IQ individuals. They've got it nailed. They always do.
When John does a game, he gets ripped on Twitter because people think it's me. And they're like, you're terrible. I'm like, wait. Or I get ripped because whatever.
Just let him have it, yeah.
Just sit there and go, wait, I'm on my couch.
Kind of enjoy it, yeah.
I agree. You got to drive
top.
if you're losing.
Hauser steps back and buries it.
Doing a good job on the post, but somebody's got to get into Hauser and make him uncomfortable, Dave. I think that's his 4th bucket from the mid-range spot today. He is really comfortable there. You've got to get him off of that. How? Deny him the ball, make him go out farther on the floor to catch the basketball.
Hauser into double figures here in the first half. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Well, it's a tough move inside, and another block. This time Hauser and Huff were all over him.
It's pretty nice by Hauser coming in from the backside, but Huff knows he's bigger than everybody out there. He's got long arms, and he uses them with good positioning.
McCoy putting it to the deck. Another one getting a little extra playing time as of late. Won that one back, and a long 3 won't drop. So 5-point game, remember, for Virginia. If they win, they are the top seed in the upcoming ACC tournament. They win the ACC regular season crown because Florida State was upset at South Bend, Indiana, 83-73. They had a chance to clinch it, still do, if Louisville wins this game and knocks off Virginia.
Florida State got to be kicking themselves. I watched that whole game, and in the first half, it was a totally different effort than the second half. And now, because they lost, you see. But for Florida State has to be kicking themselves for their lack of defensive intensity in the first half of that game, Dave. They got down 20-some. Second half, Notre Dame was lucky to breathe with the ball.
3-second violation. Chris Mack heated up here, down by 5 with a minute 27 to go in the half.
I don't think Louisville's played well, but pretty good job of settling in defensively, and keeping around in this game. In fact, they can go up at half with a stop and a bucket.
Virginia's made 52% of their shots, but 0 for 6 beyond the three-point line. Pull up here for Jones off the back of that iron. Williamson right back up. That won't drop.
1 minute and a half.
I just think Williamson has so much athletic ability that if he just took it a little bit farther and went up and tried to dunk it, get fouled at minimum. Watch the post.
Tough drive for 2 to make this one 28-21.
How about that finish? Leakman just went to his left. Instead of using his left hand, used his right. It was terrific.
Went for the steal there, came up empty. Here's Johnson directing traffic. 24 seconds left in the half. He goes around the back. Shot clock to 3 and a whistle. And 3 seconds left on the shot clock and 16.8 in the half.
Cardinal basketball.
Kids, move your feet. If the dribbler is going to your left, lead with your left foot. It's called big stepping. What happened there was led with their hands. And in leading with your hands, you foul. Doesn't kill them because they're not in the bonus yet. But your feet, not your hands, and you do it by big stepping the way the ball is being dribbled in the same direction.
Well, they want Jones to handle it, drawing a lot of attention. And out of bounds it goes with 2.8 left. Huff coming over for the double.
Back in for the Cards.
So a 7-point lead for Virginia.
He's in for Davis.
This is a place they've had a lot of success in. Not many can say that, but the Cavaliers are 6-2 all time at KFC Yum Centers. Davis goes to the bench.
They have.
And another block there by Huff as he whips it down the other end, but he plays good defense, and Mack is very, very unhappy.
And he should be, because they had that wide open. The pass was late. Instead of a layup on that little back screen, it ended up getting thrown to 15 feet. He knew they had the right play right there, Chris Mack.
Jones without a point. Hauser with 10. So we're at the break. 28-21. Virginia. Kevin, Sean, and John coming your way at the half.
Obi, thanks. The Cavaliers go 0 for 6 from behind the arc in the first half.
It was back and forth. Both coaches were frustrated with officiating. Just feels kind of old school.
No doubt about it. David Duke with 20 points. Tie game at 52. Nate Watson, watch him come in here. Tip that one up and in. He had 20 as well. Friars take the lead. Great look for Jeremiah Robinson-Earl.
Yeah, this was a clean look. Would have won it. The tip in, that was long after the red light was on in the backboard.
Big win for Ed Cooley and the Friars, 54-52. E-Trade halftime report. Sean Farnham, John Crispin, Kevin Connors in studio. Over on ESPN, a tremendous battle in the Big Ten. Quite possibly could be the Big Ten championship game preview. Illinois and Ohio State. Illinois riding that 4-game win streak. Who is that masked man? Io is back, Sean.
Yeah, and when he's back, things work out so well. But you've had Kofi Coburn. Coburn's been so strong, so physical, his presence underneath. But Io DeSumo allows this offense to click into another gear.
He's just so smooth with the basketball. He's hard to figure out. The defense gets spaced out east to west, and he attacks north and south. If they get spaced out east to west, it opens up passing lanes. You can throw the ball down low. They've got so many good things going their way.
6-point Illini lead. Meantime, Indiana entered play today against Purdue, desperate. John, Archie Miller desperate to beat the Boilers.
Yeah, lost 8 straight coming into this game, and losing this one would be 9 in a row. And you have to understand, in the state of Indiana Hoosiers are supposed to be the elite class. Has not been the case. Purdue has really controlled this rivalry. They've got great identity. They play to it. They run great stuff. They have good sets. They're tough to figure out. Not the sexiest team in the Big Ten, but they're effective.
13-6 in Big Ten play, 67-58 the final. Meantime, Oklahoma State, West Virginia. No Cade Cunningham to playing it safe. No ice likely to, Sean, and yet the Cowboys played inspired.
They played with a toughness and a togetherness that I think anybody who likes the game of basketball would have enjoyed watching this team play today, because they didn't give up. It's been great all season long. I'm going to have a great show tonight. 31 points for him.
Watch out for this Oklahoma State team in the NCAA tournament. When you get Cade Cunningham back, ice likely, look out.
They are dangerous, 85-80. Speaking of dangerous, speaking of teams to look out for in the NCAA tournament. When we come back, we'll shine the spotlight on Danny Hurley's team. That's next.
This halftime report is presented by E-Trade. Get more than
the paint, but you've got to utilize your bigs in the offensive scheme, spacing the floor, capitalizing on these ISO opportunities.
Battle of Los Angeles, great Rage album. Bruins leading.
Man, these folks know how to dress, don't they? 28-21, Virginia on top by 7. Dave O'Brien, Dan Dockich from our homes. Not the same home. I keep knocking, but Dan won't let me in. Thanks so much for being with us. It's a big day for Virginia. Big day for Louisville as well. Virginia can win the ACC #1 seed. Double D, what do you like so far about what you've seen?
Well, I love the way Virginia has guarded. They have gotten in a stance, and they have been terrific. And on the offensive end, look, they have 28 points, and these two guys have been the focus of it. Jay Huff on the block has drawn a lot of attention from a variety of defenders, both big and little. And mid-range, Hauser really has been the most consistent scorer. Right there is the mid-range. It's kind of an off the post. This is actually kind of his sweet spot. About 17, 18 feet on either side. You can't let him do that in the second half. Too effective.
And again, what's at stake? Virginia with a victory clinches the ACC regular season title and the top seed in the upcoming ACC tournament. That begins in Greensboro next Tuesday, and they are 20 minutes away from that. That's because FSU missed a chance to wrap up that top seed against Notre Dame today. Notre Dame played a terrific game, beat them 83-73. Although if Virginia stumbles here today, the Seminoles will be the #1 seed.
You know, people had Virginia for dead, right? A few weeks ago, Seminoles crushed them. Now they got a chance to win a title, get a #1 seed and tie for a title.
Tough move on the baseline there by Johnson. Boy, how about Carlik Jones going with a donut in the first half? Did not score for the Cardinals. A foul here with 19:33 to go. Guy who's averaging 18 a game.
A lot of that is scouting report. We've seen Carlik Jones on the right side in the block or just off the block, Dave, and Virginia is not going to let him go to work. They came over and post doubled, got the ball out of his hands, and then, you know what, K.A. Clark's done a really good job of just keeping himself in front. The old fundamental, stay between your man and the basket, and K.A. Clark's done a good job thus far on Jones.
Hauser, one of many outstanding foul shooters. This is their first foul shot of the ball game, first 2. But he's 86%. If it comes down to the foul line, Virginia's going to win it, as they make 80% to the 3rd best foul shooting team in the country. Jones tiptoeing that line. Up top here for Johnson. His little fall away short, and a nice tap right back to himself. For Hauser, who's having a really fine day.
Oh, he's playing terrific. That was a nice rebound out of area. He had to reach out and grab it. A lot of guys can't do that. He made it look easy.
Well, he was the hottest hand when this game got underway. And really didn't cool off very much as Murphy makes it 32-23.
That move right there is a go-to move. We saw it early in the game against Williamson. Murphy on the elbow. Bullied Williamson in the first half. Again, that's just driving on your own, Dave, with K.A. Clark staying in front.
And Huff swatting that one out.
This is what I'm talking about right here. Just get it on the elbow, spread it out one-on-one. This time it's a jump shot for Murphy that goes in. First possession of the game. It was a drive. That is a comfort play now for Virginia.
Slazinski trying to get Hauser to move his feet, and the shot clock expiring. Actually got it up there off the iron, and a rejection but a whistle on the play with 18:22 to go. And he'll get Hauser for that personal.
At the line for the Cardinals, number 11, Slazinski.
So that'll put Quinn Slazinski at the line, the 6'8" sophomore out of Houston. He's been starting some games here down the stretch for Coach Mack, and a miss on the first one. Again, Louisville, one of the teams very dramatically affected by COVID pauses. In fact, 5 games at one stretch were canceled or postponed. They went 19 days in between games, their longest such stretch in 54 years. Hauser from the corner. But that shot has been there for him all day, hasn't it, Dan?
Jeez, Dave. I mean, that's just where he likes it. Left side, right side, mid-range, pull up, catch, shoot, doesn't matter. Terrific.
Hauser with 14. Virginia, by the way, shooting 57% from the field, and back to Hauser a moment ago.
Well, he shapes up, gets to his spot. I mean, remember, the first guy that I really saw do that was Kobe Bryant. Like, he has a spot. Kobe Bryant's spot was between the elbow and the top of the key, or the three-point line, and that's where Hauser's spot is, right there. Mid-range, about 17 feet either side.
Jones back for Withers. Cardinals need a run. Switching hands and dropping it in.
Boy, that was good by Withers. He just bodied on body, chest to chest, and stayed strong and played right through Hauser.
Withers not a big distance guy, but he makes what he takes. He's about 57% up in the catch. Nicely done to the other side of the iron.
Jay Huff makes basketball easy, Dave. We've seen him block shots with his fingertips. He just made that look easy. Went to the other side of the basket.
Yeah, he really does have a variety of offensive moves outside and inside. That was poked out. Go back to Huff a second ago.
Just watch how easy he does this. All right, first the catch. A lot of guys can't catch, and then he just keeps it, looks, uses his right hand on the left side, puts his chin up onto the rim. I'm telling you, first the catch, then the gather, then the other side of the rim, then the flip it in is not as easy nearly for most bigs as it was for Huff, or is for Huff.
Jones finally cracking that scoring column. With 16:50 to go in the game, Louisville trying to make a run. 36-28, the Cavaliers. Drill.
Can't really see it from that angle, but it's clear a right elbow was at least pushed out.
No whistle on the play. And a basket good by Carly Jones as he finally scores. And still talking up the officials. Yeah.
Why are you so upset about that? Well, you know what he knows? He knows that it takes one shot for Carly Jones to get going. And what a difference between not calling that and letting, making the shot, as opposed to calling that, and now Carly Jones' frustration continues, and Tony Bennett knows that absolutely.
How about Virginia without a made three, but on top 36-28. They are 3 for 3 overall. And the threes aren't falling. It's a big factor for Virginia. Typically, they shoot them so well. They're 39% beyond the three-point line as a team. And of course, nobody better than Hauser. Down the lane, Jones and a whistle. I should say down the lane, Williamson and a whistle.
We started the game talking about Williamson. He is the perfect basketball body. Athletic, smart, can shoot it, anything you want. And he's improved immeasurably from 4 points to 10 points this year. He's the kind of guy that can switch to others. There's been a lot of switching by Louisville today. And he's the kind of guy that can go get to the rim, can shoot mid-range, that kind of thing. He has to have a big 16 minutes, I believe, for Louisville to win this game. He's got 5 right now.
They really showed up against Duke in their last victory. 14 points, 12 rebounds. Really big rebounds in that contest. Game they won in overtime.
In traffic, too. Not easy rebounds. Not free throw miss rebounds.
Thrown away, but also a whistle as the pass went sailing out of play with 16:07 left in the game.
They ran a Beekman off of Huff, and Dre Davis switched, and he did that old cornerback play where he got his arm wrapped around the waist on the backside, and that's what Ted Valentine saw.
So Davis with the personal. Huff did not drag the foot. Hauser again, launching. Got it! Nothing but net.
That was great defense. What are you going to do?
6 out of 7. And a 39-29 lead for Virginia. So the Cardinals need an answer with 15.5 to play. The kick here for Johnson, and he does answer in a big way.
Yeah, that's big time right there. They needed it. You said it. And Dave, he was set up. And good for Carlik Jones. He drove to set up his teammate. He didn't drive to score there.
Well, been a couple of times it looked like the Cavaliers, Dan, were getting set to pull away a little bit. And Louisville, to their credit, has come back with a big shot, big play. Hauser operating, a little fall away. He's hitting everything.
Again, great defense. This time, a little bit easier shot because it was in the middle of the floor, but that is still great defense. And just as Mark Jones says, or Mark Jackson says, better offense.
19 for Hauser with 14:40 to go.
Let's be honest, this is all-American performance. I mean, this is for a championship, right?
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Mesquite Bacon Cheeseburger, only at Sonic. Dan Dockich and Dave O'Brien with you here as we watch a huge game, certainly for the Virginia Cavaliers and for Sam Hauser, who has been cooking, and on top 41-32. Hauser so far with 19, 8 out of 11. Louisville crashing the glass, and that one taken in by Withers, who's getting 8 per game. Great move inside for the slam, and a foul as well. Goodness. Tremendous move there, power to slam this one down, and that's something that Louisville definitely needed with that jolt of energy. 41-35. Technical difficulties with Dan Dockich. We'll get Dan back as soon as we can. Bringing the crowd back to life, as mentioned, over 2,000 fans in attendance today at KFC Yum Center. Deep into the corner, Murphy, and the threes just haven't been dropping. That's a major reason why Louisville's been able to stay right there within striking distance all day. Davis is open. Got it! A three-pointer. Boy, a couple of giant shots here in the last half minute of play by the Cardinals, and they have pulled to within 3 points. Timeout, 13:45 to go. Cardinals roaring back. It's a 3-point game.
It all starts with an
Withers, and then moments ago, Davis, plenty of time to line up the triple and just smoked it. And again, just at the point where it looked like the Cavaliers would get a little bit of breathing room, and back comes the Louisville Cardinals. And catching fire at this point of the contest, 41-38 Virginia. This is a 9-2 run now for Louisville. And now it's Virginia looking for the answer. Beekman in the lane. He really traveled with it. And it's going to be a foul here with 13:29 to go. Carlik Jones, who has had a very frustrating day to this point, went the entire first half without scoring a point. Kind of a wry smile there by Chris Mack. Lead as high as 10 for Virginia. Quickly, Hauser takes a hit as well as he's fouled on the shot, and he'll be at the line.
Foul number 13, David Johnson, his second team.
So it's David Johnson picking up number 2. And Hauser to the stripe, 86% there.
10, Sam Hauser, he'll shoot 2.
And 19-point day so far for Hauser. 8 out of 11. He's chipped in with 6 rebounds and rarely misses at the line. That's a Virginia team. If you make 81% at the foul line, you're bringing the team's percentage down. Hauser with his 5th 20-point game of the season. And a 5-point lead for Virginia. Trying to win a regular season title today. Jones unable to hit. He's having a lot of trouble getting anything to go down today. Just 1 make so far. 13-12 left, and Virginia with the basketball. Well, they're trying to get Dan Dockich back. Some technical difficulties from his home site. Not to mention that ficus plant behind him in the shot. Here's the ball away, and nothing but net once again by Hauser. Way downtown for 24 points. Well, he's been just about automatic all afternoon today with a season high 24 points when they've needed it the most. Withers back for Jones, who was so good against Duke last week. Get 25 points. Turnaround by Williamson. Yes. Big shot there. Louisville continues to stay right on Virginia's tail by making 7 out of 12 here in the second half. Hauser again will fire. Can't hit this one. And the Cardinals come away with it. Louisville with 18 consecutive 20-win seasons down the lane, and the stop but a foul as well. Beekman with the personal, trying to slow down Johnson. We'll take the timeout. 11:57 to go.
It always delivers. It always delivers. It always delivers. It always delivers. A lot of electricity. That's my line. It always delivers. Trademark, copyright, not to be used without express written permission of Jay Billis.
Well, it always delivers. No question about that. Last 14 meetings, a 7-7 split. How close to the point totals, and the last one was 91-87. And looking forward to tonight as well. Looking forward to the last 12 minutes of this one. Virginia has seen what was a 10-point lead now close to 4. Hauser just on fire. His career high, by the way, is 31. He's at 24 right now. And 11:57 to go here at the KFC Yum Center. And for Virginia, a victory means they are the top seed in the upcoming ACC tournament. They win the regular season title. For Louisville, they could be as high as a 3 seed. Huge for them because it would put them into the quarterfinals of the ACC tournament. They would have 2 byes. We'll see if Carly Jones can start to do what he did against Duke a week ago. And the first one off target here by Johnson, who makes 71%. And my partner Dan Dockich, want to welcome him back on the phone from home. Dan, how's it going?
I heard ficus slander. I'm not happy with you, OB. You slandered my ficus.
I don't know if I'm the one who slandered your ficus. I've seen that thing trying to survive in the background of shots. But boy, Hauser, and you've been talking about him all day, Dan, the last 10 Virginia shots as they try to get him the ball virtually every time down.
Yeah, it's not a democracy with Virginia. Get the guy that's going to shots, and maybe others get going like that.
And Murphy able to drop that one in to make it 49-41. They haven't done it on the strength of 3-pointers today. But Hauser's been the man way downtown, and that one buried. Well, you know, Louisville's had a little more success with that, and that's Withers. And again, he's not a 3-point guy, but you can't tell by that one, and they're 4 out of 7.
6 of 17 only. I think Withers has played really well. Like he knocked that ball loose right there. Let's see if he can finish.
He's going to go to the line on a blocking foul. 10:58 to go. Withers really getting involved offensively in a 5-point game. Back to that 3 as he just drilled it.
Dave, this is deep. I mean, for a kid that's only made 6 all year, that's deep on deep.
Louisville, in fact, has made 3 of 3 from three-point land in this half.
The old line, Dave. Hanging around from rounders.
1 of 2, and Hauser with the rebound. Well, the last time they met a year ago, it came down to the last several possessions. Kihei Clark, in fact, hit a huge 3 with about 28 seconds to go. That was the major shot in that game, and Virginia pulled it out by 3 points. This one maybe headed down to the same kind of finish, Dan.
Yeah, and you know, whether it's Ty Jerome, you know, Kihei Clark, they've always had a guy, and that's what I feel this game is going to come down to. Who's going to make the decisions at the end of the game? And this kid is the guy for Virginia, right there.
There's Clark with the scoop. 51-45.
American can breathe a sigh of relief. My mic's back on full time, Dave.
Oh, that's a gutsy shot there by Carly Jones at a very tough angle. Just 4 points for him, but we'll see what the last 10 minutes hold for Carly.
Now, he can't worry about what has happened. He can't worry about what's happened. He's got to worry about moving forward and build off that shot there and continue to drive it opportunistically when he has it, not forced.
Hauser thought about it. Working on Davis. His fall away. No. And the Cardinals with a little bit of an opening here.
And a great block out of Huff by David Johnson. David Johnson's playing a really good floor basketball game.
Withers strong into the paint, flips it up there. He almost got it to go, and he draws the foul. Jalen Withers, the redshirt freshman out of Charlotte, going back to the line.
I love this. So many guys. I actually heard it on a broadcast today that, well, you should shoot a heat check type of shot. No, you shouldn't. That's selfish. What Withers did right there is playing winning basketball. He drilled the 3, so he took it upon himself to fake, bring Huff out, respecting the 3, and go right by him and draw a foul. That's terrific by this redshirt freshman.
9 points for him. And another one coming here for Withers. It's a big factor in the victory over Duke with 16 points and 9 rebounds. And missed the pair.
Boy, is this an interesting lineup. No Hauser, no Huff. Got to be a lot of Clark, I would guess, end the clock.
Shot clock down to 10. Beekman launches and short.
Tony Bennett trusts his guys, but I got to have one of those two guys in the game offensively, Huff or Hauser.
Beekman up for the rebound.
Wouldn't be a bad move to go to that left or right elbow play that they've ran twice with Murphy. Isolate it, let him go one-on-one here. Expose it, Louisville to a foul.
Long distance and a foul on the play. Well, the Tensai is hacked with 8:47 to go.
That's his first team.
Dave, you do Red Sox baseball. Pitcher's wild. You swing at one in the dirt. You bail the pitcher out. This is a bad offensive lineup with those two guys out for Virginia, and you just bail Virginia out. And if Wola Tensai makes these 3 free throws, that allows Bennett to keep Hauser and Huff out till after the 8-minute timeout and get them even fresher.
And later tonight, UFC 259, 3 titles on the line. The prelims get underway next on ESPN2. The main card beginning at 10 Eastern on pay-per-view. To order in English and Spanish, you can go to ESPNplus.com/PPV.
If you haven't seen on this card Amanda Nunes, Dave, oh, is she tough. She's going to be the best fighter on this card.
I am going to take your word for that. I know you know your UFC, so I will tune that in. Just on your recommendation alone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jones going one-on-one through the paint. Rolled to 10 side. Nice recovery. And Virginia has it back.
Yeah, and you know what happened? Jones moved backwards with the ball up instead of using his rear end moving backwards when he got by the backboard. Put the ball right in Wola Tensai's hands.
Second effort here for the Cavaliers. It was last February, a year ago February, Wola Tensai scored 27 points here against the Louisville Cardinals. He couldn't miss in that game. A great fake there. And Trey Murphy III for 2.
That's the action we're talking about. That's the third time he's gotten the ball. This time it was a little off the lane, but it's an isolation. And Murphy, 3 times they ran that. 3 baskets by Murphy. Easy.
Williamson to the paint. Yes.
Oh, he's got a lot of skill. Gosh, he's got a lot of skill. Tough shot.
And once again, Louisville just continues to hang in there. And Hauser and Huff remain on the bench for Tony Bennett. The swing inside and 2 for McCoy.
Screener gets the ball for the layup. McCoy set a screen. 2 guys went with the cutter. McCoy found himself open. Nice finish. Set screens, you get buckets.
Withers doing a little too much with the dribble and gives it away. Right back to the Cavaliers. 58-49, under 7 to go. It's a championship day for Virginia should they win this tough road game at KFC Yum Center. Morcell getting into the fray here beyond the 3. He's going to fire it up there and can't hit.
Huge reset. Now you can run another 30 seconds or go to the rim and get fouled.
Morcell tiptoeing through. The tip is up and good. That was McCoy getting up there.
Honest to goodness, Dave, I feel like Louisville has relaxed. Like that foul on the 3-point shot, I swear to you, it feels like Louisville just kind of lost their heart with that foul. They haven't stopped anybody since then.
Well, this becomes the biggest lead of the game.
That's a nice move right there by Murphy. That's his shot. And then here, a little screen, go get it back. And then a nice finish by McCoy. And then here, this is just driving right down Main Street. Nobody puts a body on, and McCoy.
A Big Ten slugfest going on over on ESPN.
Yeah, and of course, the Conference of Champions has to show up in the Big Ten to make things work. Justice Suing, what a drive and finish for him. Tied it at 54 at the time.
Fighting Illini, a 2-point lead over on ESPN. Meantime, coming up next year, it's the prelims of UFC 259. Of course, the main event comes your way on ESPN Plus pay-per-view.
Plus?
The electrifying Israel Adesanya and the light heavyweight championship on the line tonight, Obie and Dan.
Yeah, thank you, man. Well, what's at stake here with a win for Virginia? They clinched the ACC regular season title and the #1 seed in the ACC tournament. It'll be the third in the last 4 seasons for Coach Bennett. By the way, his cousin Nick Bennett has just won a high school state championship in Wisconsin. That was just yesterday, the Wisconsin Division III state title. Nick is the son of Tony's uncle, Jack Bennett, who is the younger brother of Tony's father, Dick Bennett. He's at the very top there in the back wearing the mask. Jack and his son, Nick, captured a pair of NCAA Division III championships at UW Stevens Point in 04 and 05. Great basketball history for the Bennetts, of course, and more.
They are Wisconsin basketball. I mean, let's be honest. Wisconsin, the program in the Big Ten, as you know, Dave, was floundering for years. And they tried everything. And then all of a sudden, well, let's bring Dick Bennett here. And from that point on, they've been to Final Fours. They've had incredible winning percentages, both at home and on the road. Championships, both regular season and conference tournament. Dick Bennett changed the entire face of the state of Wisconsin basketball, both Division III, high school, and Division I.
Tony's done awfully well in Virginia, too. That'll be flipped up and missed by Johnson. Yeah. 60-49. So let's see if Virginia can put the pedal to the metal, as it were, under 6 minutes to go. They've been unable to break away, certainly not in a very meaningful way, from the Cardinals all afternoon. Murphy trying to make the move there. Yep, he's held up.
That's the play, Dave. Yeah, left elbow, give him the ball, figure it out, drive it.
Virginia basketball.
I thought Trey Davis did a good job, but
Replacing number 13, Marcel.
Louisville at 13-5, 8-4 in the conference. And Virginia trying to pick up their 13th win in the ACC. Here's Clark. Hold the 10th side. Shot clock at 7. Into the lane. Strong move there by Beekman. He'll draw the foul.
Beekman came off of the blocker mover action, which is basically a post guy on the left, post guy on the right. Watch this cut right here into the lane off of the screener, McCoy, and Beekman sprinted into that cut. Bad luck not making the shot, but he just went hard. Cutting in basketball is a series of sprints. You set up the cut by two-step sprint, plant your outside foot, change direction, and then sprint off of the big man setting the screen, and that's exactly what Beekman did, and he beat the defender.
Freshman very smooth at the line. He's a good passer. He's a good rebounder. He's made it 62-49. This is the largest lead today for the Cavaliers. So can Louisville crawl back into it? Well, they can that way with Johnson stuffing it home.
Simple up screen. Just a little up screen. The defender on the screener fell asleep. Great pass, great finish.
I'll tell you what, Tony Bennett is one cool customer. It's a championship day for him. His two top players have remained on the bench for a long time here, Hauser and Huff, and he hasn't blinked. And a lot of that has to do, Dan, I've got to believe, with how well the guys on the floor have been playing.
No question. And I think the entire period here changed on that Wall Intensity three-point shot foul. They were struggling, didn't have a shot. Next thing you know, you bailed them out. And now you see everybody in white playing with an amazing amount of confidence on the offensive end.
Hauser coming back on a season high 24. His career high is 31. And Virginia back to the foul line. They haven't spent a lot of time there today, but this time it's Trey Murphy III, who is a 91% foul shooter. He's the best foul shooter on the team. And Virginia perfect there today, 10 for 10. That is no surprise.
Oh, great transfer, right, from Rice. I mean, Murphy just fits right into everything you want. He'll guard. He's long. You can switch. He can guard bigger. He plays at the elbow. He can play at the three-point line. He makes free throws. I mean, what a great, perfect addition.
Tony's made a few and recruited a bunch of them who fit right in so perfectly. They're on a 14-4 run. Jones trying to bull his way inside, and he'll take a hit. But now Virginia leads 65-51. They're closing in on a title here today.
You said it. He's just bullying Kihei Clark. But here's the thing about Kihei Clark. Kihei Clark is one tough dude. Like, he's used to, in that league, being the smallest guy on the court and have bigger guards go at him. But Kihei Clark does not back down even a little bit against bigger, stronger guards bullying him.
Right, all of 5'9", but he can give as well as he gets. Jones, very good foul shooter himself. And 64-53 in pressure here by Louisville. Hauser put it to the deck, still working, and they're going to get him for the foul.
Man, oh man, now you're going to see a push off, and I think it's against Jones falling down. Let's see, right side. Yeah, it's Jones. Watch. Yeah.
So Hauser with the foul, and McCoy back on. Take another look.
I feel like right there is a foul. I feel like he got fouled 15 different times, and then they finally called his push.
It did look that way on that replay. Very tough angle, and up and in by Slazinski on the follow.
Well, much more active now. Slazinski made the shot and got right in here in the trap. Don't foul.
Across midcourt, up and over the top. Murphy will send it back out high for Kihei Clark.
Smart. Murphy didn't force it. Lucky to catch it. Let's set it up and go play under 10 seconds if we can.
Off the window, that won't drop for McCoy. And Louisville still hanging in. We've said that all afternoon. Jones forced that shot.
Yeah, like I said, Kihei Clark is not going to give in. He is tough on tough. And Jones got away with a push. Clark stayed in there with his body, didn't back down, forced a bad shot.
Long distance. Not there for Walter Tensai. Tipton controlled by the Cardinals, and here they come. They need a run. They need a hot hand right now. Way downtown Johnson.
Dave, this has to go under 10 seconds if you're Virginia. There's no reason, unless you get a layup or something wide open, now you don't play this under 10, maybe under 5 with the ball in Clark's hands.
Clark, some nifty dribbling, but can't connect.
Went too early.
Hauser and Huff still not in the game. Louisville trying to cut in. They'll swing it up top. Slazinski can't hit, and he can't get a second shot.
This lineup's pretty good defensively. You know, we sometimes, or I sometimes, focus on the offense. Where's the points going to score? I'd go to 25 left elbow if I could at the end of the clock here. But this defense has been pretty locked in for Virginia here with this group.
Beekman to operate, airborne. Oh, what a difficult shot, but he made it.
He had nothing, but you know what he did? He kept his chin on the rim, and he played through, and it was strong enough to get it over the front, Dave.
You just mentioned how good their defense is with this particular unit. Murphy III with a key block there. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy.
Phone number.
Yeah, look, the Illini may have superior talent. Ohio State's trying to prove they can be the superior team. They just weather and adjust, and they do so with great poise.
Great finish on ESPN, and of course, so much on the line. Afterwards, Duke UNC.
You know, the game that never disappoints. I think Jay Billis says that. But the game is going to be huge. It always is, and important for both those teams this year.
Big game after we go final in Louisville, Obi.
Kev, thank you very much. And the New York Life ACC tournament begins Tuesday on ACC Network. 3 first-round games, all of them starting at 2 Eastern, followed by 4 second-round games on Wednesday starting at noon. If you don't have ACC Network, go to ACCN.com for instant access. Dan, who's the hottest team in the land right now?
Well, the hottest team other than Gonzaga right now is Elon. They're the best team in North Carolina. You can take Duke and North Carolina and talk about them all you'd like, but Elon, the Fighting Phoenix of Andrew Dockich and Mike Schrage, have just won their 5th in a row after an 0-7 start to the league. Big out of
Withers, the huge one from the corner, and the fans have not given up. 2,200 inside the KFC Yum Center, 66-58. Trying to do it with defense. Did not force a turnover there. They break it. It's Murphy for the slam.
Kihei Clark did a great job. He just came to the ball. He met the ball. You don't wait for the ball when there's a trap. You come to the ball. You shorten the distance between the trap and you. He did.
And Virginia has played an awfully smart game. To no one's surprise, we saw they win a lot of games. They clinched the ACC regular season title with a victory. They're less than a minute away from doing exactly that here in Louisville, Kentucky today.
I would argue that the 2 most important transfers in the country, that in terms of importance, maybe not the best, one of which is this kid right here, Murphy. All of a sudden, Virginia's playing for are going to win a regular season first seed. And then at Michigan, Mike Smith. Watch this. Watch him come to the ball. See him come all the way to the ball, Kihei Clark, and that destroys everything Louisville was trying to do. Mike Smith averaged 23 at Columbia last year. The star for Michigan was Xavier Simpson. Mike Smith's been so good taking Simpson's place. Nobody even talks about Xavier Simpson. I'm telling you, Murphy and Smith have been the two most important transfers to winning championships this year.
Well, Virginia can begin to celebrate exactly that. Coming to a very tough environment, trying to win at Louisville. Obviously, not a lot of fans, 2,200, but a lot of pressure on Virginia today. Florida State stumbling at Notre Dame. That opened the door for the Cavaliers, and they are about to win the ACC regular season title. They hold Carly Jones down in a big way today. Outstanding defense again for Virginia and Tony Bennett. And that's your final score as Virginia has wrapped up the #1 seed in the upcoming ACC tournament. As that's 3 times in the last 4 seasons now for Coach Bennett. Hauser with 24, Murphy with 17, Huff had 10. It's a really interesting lineup the last 10 minutes of that game by Virginia.